Okay, so I just got done watching the first and possibly the only presidential debate just now. And oh my god, what a doozy of a debate that was. Like, my brain is still trying to wrap itself around what I just witnessed just now. It was horrible. Like, almost every aspect was like horrible in my opinion. This was a big moment for Joe Biden to prove he has what it takes to like effectively run the country. And though he still might be the best fitted candidate for the job in my opinion, he did not prove that to everybody tonight with his performance. Within the first few minutes, he was like stumbling over what he was saying, and I feel like everyone wanted to see like how well he would answer each question and like how cognitive he would come off to people. And oh my god, he was just struggling within like the first like question. And Trump, like, don't get me started on Trump. Like, I think they were both horrible. Like, I think the moderation was horrible. I don't think the format, like with the mic turned off as the other person is answering, I don't think that was good for like Biden, because there were so many times like the moderator just cut him off like as he was finishing his statement. Like, I understand like you have a certain amount of time to answer each question like to the best of your ability, but like if you're at the tail end of your point, like I thought that was so dumb how they just would be like, all right, thanks, Joe Biden, like, and then they would turn it over to Trump and he would just like completely deflect and not answer every single question. It was a constant state of going back to the previous question and like saying more comments on that and like making another point about the previous question after he was just given another question to answer. I was just watching the after show on CNN and they said the fact machine was probably broken, like based off of like all of the things Donald Trump just said. He talks about Joe Biden like giving misinformation and disinformation, but like he is the king of like misleading people and just like, yeah, saying these deceitful like ear grabbing things that people who don't know any better will probably go with, but and don't know any better and just like believe. But like if you don't fact check like literally everything he's saying, like like 99% of it probably isn't true. That's the thing. Like, my girlfriend made a good point. Like, Trump was more clearly saying lies, but Joe Biden was kind of like not clearly like possibly saying more of the truth. Yeah, like with his policy and just like his plan for the future, he was just trying to go like too in depth sometimes. I could just see the average viewer just not really understanding what he's trying to say. It's going to be easier to listen to Trump and to be able to actually understand what he's saying, even if what he's saying isn't true, and just go with that, you know, because people don't know any better about a lot of these issues that were brought up. I feel like it's just better to understand something that might be misinformation than to not even know where you're going or like where you're coming from, even if you're sharing something that might be true. Joe Biden struggled so much just like having a coherent point. I believe like this country has so many other candidates to offer that would be like a lot better than both of these guys, but that's not the case. Like, the Democrats might choose somebody else later on, and I hope they do based off of tonight's debate. But in all reality, like, these are probably the two candidates that we're gonna be voting for in November, and I'm kind of scared. I'm honestly scared. Like, I don't think Joe Biden did enough and explained enough and like gave us the confidence in him that we were like looking for, the affirmation that we were looking for, that he would be the right person for the job. I feel like the moderation was just atrocious. Like, those two like co-moderators should be ashamed of themselves, because there were so many times where Trump would just like not answer the question completely, and like he would just say like, oh, during my administration we had the best ever, like XYZ, every single topic. Oh, we were the best and he was the worst. They would not like redirect him or get him back on track every single time. Then Biden was forced to rebuttal like what Trump just said. Complete nonsense, not answering any question. And it was just like, what is this debate right now? And again, I feel like the mic like being cut off for the other person, like, it sounds good in like theory, But like there were so many times where like Joe Biden was just left like looking stupid. Yeah, he would say whatever he wanted. A lot of the time it comes down to who gets the last word on a lot of topics, and that might be what like sticks with the person more. Like whoever gets the final word in like a discussion, along with being like more coherent to like hear. It was not a very good performance for Joe Biden. That sucks to say because I personally like him. You guys, I know everyone has their feelings about him, but it all comes down to policy. Now people are going off of who's the most entertaining. It's so performative. Everything is so performative. People don't think about who's actually going to pass the policy that will affect our everyday life. Yeah, like my girlfriend made a good point. Like you want to be able to trust like the best person for the job. Nowadays people just want who you could go grab a beer with, whoever's the funniest, like whoever's the most entertaining to watch. That's who people will rally behind, not the actual like best qualified person for the job. I have no confidence that if Trump was elected, like things would be better off. I think Joe Biden has done a lot more for this country than like Donald Trump would have done, honestly. People need to stop making it a popularity contest. Sure, Joe Biden has his issues. I get it. I completely get it. He's like gonna be 86 years old, whatever. But Donald Trump is old too. He's gonna be well into his 80s after this term if he gets elected as well. Like he's only like 3 years younger, right? People.
Even if he wasn't, his policies are not good.
Yeah, you guys gotta think of the policies behind the candidate, not just like the energy and how funny he is and like all these stupid things that people get behind candidates for. Yeah, superficial things. Whether it's Biden or Trump, stop voting for the personality. Vote for the policy that most aligns with you. Whether that's Republican, Democrat, like stop making it a popularity contest. I'm so sick of that. Sure, Trump is like funny, he tells jokes. Do you want a president who's funny, or do you want someone who will better the country in the Oval Office? And the debate I was so many times during it, I was just like, what is going on? Like, this is like the worst presidential debate I've ever seen. For like a little bit, they were talking about golf. Like, Joe Biden was just like, oh no, Trump started it. He was just like, I would like to see this man like drive a ball. He could drive it like 50 yards or he could barely drive it 50 yards. And then like they just started going off in this random tangent about like their golfing like handicaps, and I'm just like, what? At that point I was just like, oh my god, they are not doing this right now. Like it just seemed like a joke. There are so many off-topic answers. Like most of the time Donald Trump didn't answer a single question he was asked. He would just revert back to answering the previous question. Yeah, and he would just go off on these main talking points, these main conservative talking points like immigration. He would just come back to immigration. The border's a disaster. Keeps talking about foreign countries' perspective and view of America. Like, oh, that wouldn't have happened under my administration. He just comes back to these same BS conservative talking points. And some of them might be true. I don't know how it would be. I don't know how our foreign affairs would be under his administration. Maybe it would be better. I don't know. But
that wasn't the question.
yes, answer the question. He just like, there was what was that topic he completely didn't talk about? Social Security, I think. Child support. Yeah, child care. He didn't answer a single second about what he would do for child care. Oh yeah, the overdosing issue. He covered a little bit, I think, but like he completely like deflected and didn't answer almost every single question. It was pathetic. Instead of saying like what he would do if he was elected, he just like says what Joe Biden didn't do and what he got wrong. If you want to win over the people again, like I want to hear your plan that you're gonna put in place starting on day one. Like I want a roadmap of like what it's gonna look like if you're reelected. And every single time it was just like, well, he didn't do this, he didn't do that, but I'm not gonna like explain like my plans or like my policy on these different issues. And I'm just like, bro, stop focusing more on bashing the other guy and just like give reasons for the American people to get behind you. If you just like cut all the BS out, like maybe Donald Trump might be a somewhat decent president if he just like cut out all the BS and just like stop acting like a damn child most of the time and answered the questions and actually did what's best for the country. Like maybe he would be decent, even though his policy probably doesn't align with like what I want, like with the Roe versus Wade thing. Like I don't, which also sucked for Joe Biden, because like the main point for Democrats, he didn't touch on it like at all. He did a little bit. He said he would bring back Roe versus Wade, I think, which is good. That's like a very popular stance for Democrats. There wasn't, I guess there was kind of some like debate on that, which was good.
I think what was difficult on that topic is Trump was saying very, very outlandish things. Basically, that a full-term baby is born, and they're just gonna throw the
Oh
baby
yeah,
out of the
what
trash.
was that,
Like,
bro? Like I'm pretty sure that never like was voted for. Like Trump was saying like Democrats support like killing a baby after it's born. Like no, I'm pretty sure nobody on earth shares that view and like would be okay with killing a already born baby. Like shut up, bro. And that would put Biden in a position where like, okay, no, I'm not just gonna let you slide with that. Like I'm gonna address that outlandish statement that you just made. No, nobody has said that. That's why I think the format kind of hurt him, because like Trump would say all these fucking crazy ass things and like Biden wouldn't be able to correct him on anything because like his mic was turned off. And like he couldn't just be, that's why I think like just having the mics open constantly would be better, just for that reason, because someone could be like, no, you're lying. But then again, like people would just do that with everything being said. So like they needed to take up time in their next response to address the thing that was like the crazy ass statement that was said by either of them. That happened for like the majority of the debate. So it was just, I want to say it was like entertaining to watch at least, but it was more like just depressing and like does not make me excited for like what's to come. I hope the Democratic Party like honestly picks someone else. I didn't think Joe Biden like, well, I don't know. His State of the Union like speech was so much better than this performance tonight. Like that State of the Union speech kind of restored my faith in Joe Biden. You know, he didn't have that many slip-ups, not as many as he had tonight. Like tonight, like, oh my goodness, it was like every single response was barely, like, his responses a lot of the time came off incoherent and like just completely undigestible by the average like casual like political spectator. My girlfriend was saying like he was spitting some facts like about Trump, like him dropping out of the Paris Accord and whatnot, and like he was saying some stuff, but like to just a casual like listener, you have to polish it up like and almost dumb it down and kind of like present it in a digestible way for those people, just the average person, just your average American, and make it easy for him to understand, and like to understand where you want to go, what your vision is, and like pretty much say like this guy bad because of this and I'm good because of this. He tried diving in every topic pretty specifically, and like I feel like he kind of got wrapped up in a lot of what he was trying to say. So like it almost made it impossible to like interpret what he was saying, unfortunately. You literally have to dumb it down, like kind of like, that's why Trump probably is more successful, because he's good at just public speaking. He's a good speaker, I guess. Yeah, pretty much he's just an entertainer. Like he's been on camera like for a very long time. He's been in the limelight. He's been on TV like probably since like he was like 30 or like 20. Like he just knows how to talk to people. He knows how to perform and effectively get off his ideas. Exactly. It doesn't matter if what you're saying is right as long as it sounds good to the average consumer of this stuff. I'm fearful that like that's gonna be a more effective strategy than not being able to be understood whatsoever. Like even if what you're saying is true in Joe Biden's case, people would rather understand what you're trying to say even if it's false, which I think is going to really benefit Trump and like hurt Joe Biden. So that's pretty much my basic breakdown of the debate, like if you can even call it that. I was excited. Me and my girlfriend were genuinely excited. We were ready to pull it up the whole time, and we were just excited for Joe Biden to instill that trust and that faith in him that a lot of people were looking for, but it just never happened. It never came. And now, if anything, like that party should be scared. We're not scared for Biden to win and like be in office and wonder if he's capable for the job, but we're scared of if he loses and who will be there if he loses to represent these issues that we care about as Democrats. Personally, even just as like an American, we want both sides effectively represented, and like if Joe Biden like is incapable of representing and passing policies about the issues that we care about, then who is going to step up and do it? Like a democracy is like, it's important to have two sides, and it's important to talk, and it's important to have discord and like to converse amongst one each other and share like ideologies and ideas. And like if one side can't effectively do it, then like I feel like that's pretty harmful for a democracy, you know? It definitely comes down on both sides. Like we can't have any dysfunctional side. We owe it to the American people to, you know, have both sides represented and to share their views, you know, equally.
If any side is ineffective.
Yeah, if any side is ineffective at sharing their ideals and like what they believe in, like we need representation of both sides so we can get to the best solution for the country. Again, I think it's such a shame that these are the two candidates that we have. Like I think America has a lot more to offer, and like I don't think either of these two are the best representation of like who we are as Americans. So we'll see if there's another debate or like what's to come, but highly disappointing first debate. And yeah, we'll see what's to come from here, guys. But let me know what you thought about the debate. Let me know in the comments. I know I'm probably gonna have a shit ton of people just like talking shit about something that I said here, but I don't really care. I feel like we all can reach a point of consensus by saying like that was not a very good debate, and we wish we got more out of both sides. So yeah, I guess that's it. See you later.